Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Sit tight, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just a rumor or a small tweak. It's a game-changing move that could define the Washington Commanders' season and perhaps their future for years to come. Word on the street, and from sources close to the team, is that the Commanders are on the verge of making a bold, strategic acquisition. David Njoku, the talented tight end from the Cleveland Browns. And this isn't just a minor trade or a filler move. It's a calculated play that could elevate the entire offense, boost their playoff chances, and even shake up the entire NFC East landscape. Imagine this, Njoku, a player with a real knack for creating mismatches, joining a squad that's already showing promise. The Commanders are currently sitting at 3-3 in the NFC East, a division that's been fiercely competitive this season. Every game counts, and adding a player like Njoku could be the spark they need to push over the top. The deal reportedly involves a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, which shows how much Washington values his potential. Now, let's take a moment to understand why this move makes so much sense for the Commanders. First, Njoku is coming off a Pro Bowl season in 2023, and he's been recognized as one of the top tight ends in the league, with a PFF grade that's been consistently impressive, landing around the top 60 for his position in 2025. He's an athletic freak, standing tall at 6'4" with blazing 4.48 speed in the 40-yard dash. That kind of athleticism is rare for a tight end, and it allows him to stretch defenses vertically, create separation, and turn short catches into big plays. Looking at his career numbers, Njoku has amassed over 500 receiving yards and 28 touchdowns with an average of 4 yards per reception. Those aren't just numbers. They're indicators of a player who can be a game changer, especially in critical moments. In 2025, up to October 19th, Njoku had already caught 35 passes for 412 yards and 4 touchdowns, averaging nearly 12 yards per catch. And in that explosive Week 6 performance, he caught 8 passes for 102 yards, including a 48-yard touchdown after contact. That kind of explosiveness and ability to make plays after the catch makes him an ideal fit for the Commanders' offense, especially with Jayden Daniels at quarterback. But let's not forget, Njoku has had some injury concerns this season, suffering a hamstring injury in Week 3 that caused him to miss a game. Still, his overall health and performance when healthy have been outstanding. And considering the Browns are in a bit of a rebuild sitting at 1-5, with a focus on developing their younger players and accumulating draft picks, it makes sense for Cleveland to move Njoku now. They're also looking to free up cap space with about $14 million in relief and prioritize rebuilding their offensive line, which has been giving up 3.8 sacks per game. Now, Cleveland's strategy with this trade, beyond just clearing cap space, seems to be about retooling. They're aiming to gather draft picks, especially a top 15 pick in the upcoming draft, which could be used to draft a tight end or other key positions. It's a typical rebuild move, but one that comes with risks. Without Njoku, Cleveland's passing game drops by around 16% in EPA per pass, exposing a secondary that has been giving up 24 points per game. That's not sustainable if they want to contend, and it explains why they're willing to part ways with Njoku. So what does this mean for Washington? First, the addition of Njoku significantly boosts their tight end group. Currently, the Commanders' tight ends aren't producing at a high enough level, and Njoku could add around 900 yards in 2025, making the position a real threat in the red zone, where Washington's scoring rate is currently at 52% touchdown efficiency. His ability to create mismatches against linebackers and safeties will open up opportunities for Jayden Daniels, who has been playing at a high level with a QBR of 88.7 this season. Adding Njoku into the mix means more than just his receiving yards. It's about the entire offensive dynamic. His presence on the field will force defenses to shift their coverage, often leaving linebackers and safeties in a bind. That creates space for the wide receivers, especially guys like Olive, who is projected to be a key target, and it also opens lanes for the run game. Eckler, for example, averaging 4 or 5 yards per carry, would benefit from the extra room created by Njoku's presence. Now, imagine how this impacts the red zone. Currently, Washington's red zone touchdown rate is around 52%, which is decent but can be better. With Njoku's ability to win contested catches and his size advantage, expect that number to climb. It's reminiscent of what George Kittle did for the 49ers in 2022, where a tight end's presence in the offense added a new dimension and helped turn close games into victories. And if we look at the big picture, this move could push Washington's offense into a top-tier status, boosting their expected points per pass by around 14%. And it doesn't stop there. The NFL is a league where one player can change everything, and Njoku is that kind of player. His athleticism and playmaking ability could be the X factor that propels the Commanders deep into the postseason. For the Super Bowl odds, the impact is even more dramatic. Before this news, Washington's odds to win Super Bowl LXI were around plus 11,500, which was a long shot. But after the potential acquisition of Njoku, those odds could jump all the way to plus 4,200, according to FanDuel projections as of October 19, 2025. That's a significant shift, signaling that the team's front office believes this move could be the catalyst for a deep playoff run, maybe even more. Looking ahead, if this trade goes through as expected, it signals a shift in how the Commanders are approaching their roster. They're investing in offensive mismatch players, aiming to create a dynamic, explosive attack that can rival the best in the league. Meanwhile, Cleveland is heading into a more uncertain phase, focusing on rebuilding and accumulating assets. This kind of league shakeup creates a lot of buzz among fans and analysts alike, especially when it involves a player as talented as Njoku, who, despite some injury issues this season, has shown he can be a difference maker at the highest level. But of course, we have to remember that trades like this are complex and take time to finalize. There are negotiations, medical evaluations, and contractual details to be ironed out. Still, the signs point toward a very real possibility that Njoku will soon be donning the burgundy and gold, transforming what's already a promising offense into one of the most potent units in the league. And for the fans of the Commanders, this is a move that could spark renewed hope, especially as they look to build a team capable of competing with the NFC giants like the Eagles and Cowboys, who have been dominant in different ways this season. Now, let's talk a little about the bigger picture. The NFC East has traditionally been a division of fierce rivals, with teams that are always battling for supremacy. Cowboys have a strong defense and a high-powered offense, while the Eagles are loaded with talent across the board. The Commanders, with this kind of strategic upgrade, could very well position themselves as serious contenders. Imagine a scenario where Jaden Daniels, now supported by a tight end like Njoku, elevates his game even further, making clutch throws and turning short plays into big gains. And don't forget, the NFC playoffs are often about matchups, mismatches, and key players stepping up. Njoku's presence could be the difference maker in tight games, especially in the postseason, where every yard, every catch, and every play counts. His ability to generate yards after the catch, with a YAC average of 7.2 yards, puts him in elite company among tight ends. That's the kind of player who can flip the field and keep drives alive, giving Washington a much-needed edge in close contests. And speaking of the bigger picture, this move also signals the Commanders' willingness to be aggressive. They're not just content with mediocrity or waiting for things to develop. They see the potential in this roster and are making a statement that they're ready to contend now. It's about building a team with versatility, explosiveness, and the ability to adapt to different game situations. With a cap space of around $17 million after adjustments, they have room to maneuver, sign additional pieces, or extend key players. This is a franchise that's clearly aiming higher, and acquiring Njoku is a bold step in that direction. In the grand scheme of things, this trade could be the linchpin that helps the Commanders elevate their status in the league, pushing them from a decent team into a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And for Cleveland, it's a move that signals a different path, rebuilding, retooling, and possibly sacrificing some immediate success for future gains. It's a classic NFL strategy, and it's exciting to watch how it unfolds. So, fans of the Commanders, get ready, because this potential move is about much more than just acquiring a talented tight end. It's about reshaping the team's identity, creating mismatches, and setting the stage for a possible deep playoff run. The NFL landscape is always shifting, and Washington is making a statement with this bold move. As we follow the latest updates, one thing's clear. The NFC's just got a lot more interesting, and the Commanders might be on the verge of something special. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Njoku is the missing piece that takes this team to the next level? Or do you think Cleveland might regret trading away such a talented player? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Commanders. Plus, don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more deep dives, and all the latest from the NFL and the Commanders. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this conversation going. This is the kind of move that could redefine everything, and I can't wait to see how it all plays out. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Commanders.